You're listening to Lore Friendly with Chris Takahashi and Alice Bell. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the Defenders, Game of Thrones, mods, and just other stupid shit. You know what we need? What I realized when recording our intro? We need, like, music to like, kind of ease us in, because it feels a little bit like dead air.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like, the YouTube tracks are kind of sucky. Like, have you ever looked at the ad-free feature tracks?
No. Could we have a look on like Fiverr?
I don't know.
I was watching this video and this YouTuber that I follow, she got an intro track recorded to her from Fiverr. Maybe we should do that.
I have no idea what that is.
It's basically where you pay a $5 for someone to compose something for you.
Because at least with YouTube, they can't copyright strike you because it's coming from their own website.
Yeah.
The downside is the tracks are generally terrible. Like, let me play you one real quick. Okay, so this one's called Joy to the World.
Oh, God. Oh.
It doesn't seem like it's gonna
Yeah, I don't think we should.
Yeah. Imagine rolling into the podcast with this.
Actually, this would like set people's expectations completely different to... I think it sets the mood perfectly, actually. Because we pretend that we're serious and analysts. This show had humble beginnings as a partially history podcast.
Yeah, that sounds like something you'd hear on NPR, I think. Just like smooth jazz or something. Here's one that says Dead Reckoning. That sounds like it's like heavy metal or some shit. Hold on. Oh,
yes.
damn.
All the yes.
Imagine rolling into podcast with that. Welcome to Lore Friendly.
With me, Chris Takahashi. Oh.
And the devil from hell, Alice Bell. Oh god, that rhymed.
See, you're just too natural at this.
Oh man, we couldn't do the little devil horn sign though, because then we get sued.
No, he dropped the suit. It's okay.
I don't see that on the available YouTube ad-free tracks.
Oh, I'm just looking on Fiverr and seeing if I can find some. Oh no, I don't want to.
Here's one called Surfing Llama. It sounds like you're alt-rock.
That sounds really weird.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to Love Friendly
Oh, there
with
you
me,
go.
Chris Takahashi, and Alice Bell.
It got very poppy.
What the fuck?
But yeah, if you have a audio track you'd like us to use,
Please,
send that over.
please do.
Because we need music for our intro.
I'll have a look into this this Fiverr thing.
In the meantime, we'll use Dead Reckoning.
Ow. This is why the SAG actors are striking, because they don't want to do that into a microphone.
Yeah.
Oh.
That would hurt.
Yeah, that hurt, and I can't actually scream. So.
You did do that ghoul one time.
The growly Cockney ghoul. I can't even fucking do a Cockney accent. I don't know how it happened. Alright, governor. I can't even remember how she sounds. Obviously, I haven't met her because, you know.
No, you put a lot of effort into that.
Did I? I feel like that was one of the things where we were just like, right, Alice, let's bang out some lines. So I was like, right, let's do this one, let's do this one, let's do this one.
Don't tell them how the soup is made. You put a lot of effort into that.
We put a lot of salt into it.
Yes.
So salty.
Like, you do all your
Yeah,
roles.
like, I rehearse beforehand. I definitely never use the first take. Yeah, I just get really into the role, method acting, you know.
And I'm there directing you the whole time.
Yeah. You don't just say, like, Alice, that wasn't American.
I actually give you notes and helpful advice and context.
To be fair, you actually do. Like, literally, you generally do give me helpful advice, because I can't read your mind. You don't give me any stage directions in the script. Not that we've had to record anything for a while.
We all know who to blame for that.
Me.
I'm not gonna call you out. Alice Bell. Yeah. Actually, it's always the guy with the least amount of lines who takes the longest.
Who messes things up.
But yeah.
I mean, I can't talk because Fiona, I was a bitch to get the lines out for. And I'm still very sorry.
She had a lot of lines. Anything interesting NPCs is like 20 times more lines than Tales from the Commonwealth. Because you have the option to write the player dialogue, I could get a little bit out of control.
Yeah, you've got a lot more flexibility.
Yeah. I can make 10 replies and make actors record like 100 lines for a simple conversation.
But yeah, I was...
and the player only sees like 2
I was a complete bitch to get lines out for Fiona, and I'm still very sorry to this day.
Are you really? Though?
Yeah, I literally am. I'm so sorry. Why do you think I actually get my lines to you now?
It's all guilt. It's not desire.
I'm
it's
driven
guilt.
by guilt.
It's the most powerful motivator. So should we talk about news?
Yes. Okay. So, have you heard of CinemaSins?
I have not heard. I don't even know what that is. Does that have to do with movies or does it have to do with sin?
It's a YouTube channel that does the Everything Wrong With series of
Does it have Dead Reckoning as the intro?
Not quite, no.
I feel like if you have sin in the title, you could get away with that. If we call lore friendly sin friendly, if we change it to sin friendly, we could get away with it.
Yeah. Maybe we should just change the... Maybe we can do that for Halloween. That's our Halloween
Sin
special,
friendly.
yeah.
Sin friendly
Yeah.
with Kris Takahashi and Alice Bell.
Ow! Again, Alice. Again with the throat. Ow! Okay, so anyway, they basically do a series of videos that is just hilariously pedantic about films that come out. And they've been doing this for years and years. They're a really big channel. They're followed by a lot of people. And I find them really funny. I like to watch them.
Okay.
A director has taken exception to these videos. The director of Kong Skull the director of the new King Kong film.
The ape film.
Yeah. And Jordan Vogt Roberts.
High Art.
Has...
the film about the giant ape.
Yeah, with Tom
island.
Hiddleston in it. And Samuel L. Jackson.
Punching airplanes, I assume.
Yeah. He basically took exception to this video. He says that it's wrong to label it as satire, and it's generally just really nitpicky and awful. And it's like, mate, it's doing a funny. That is internet humor, my dear. We love to be nitpicky and shitty about things. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, of all the films that you're gonna,
yeah.
make your stand on, I don't know if Kong's
I mean,
Skull
for fuck's
Island
sake, they've done a CinemaSins on Citizen Kane, which is largely regarded to be one of the best movies of all time.
Yeah.
And they've done Fight Club, which is an amazing film that I've actually watched. They've done everything under the sun, from The Room, which is like regarded as being the shittiest film ever, to like Oscar-winning masterpieces. So you're taking it's a joke. It's a fucking joke. Why are you taking exception to this?
It never goes well if you get butthurt on the internet.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is just ignore it.
Yeah, and the article that I'm reading about it is on The Guardian, which is defending the director's response. Mate, it's a joke.
See, I get butthurt on the internet all the time, but what I do is I just ignore
Yeah,
it.
you just don't say anything.
Yeah, you just don't respond. You hit the mute button.
Like,
I don't know if you can hit the mute button on an entire channel, but you could probably just like not go to it.
Yeah.
Because it just makes things worse.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I'm vain. I like to Google my name a lot, and I like to Google it along my performances. And, you see criticism. Mainly you see people talking about how hot R404 is at the minute. So, But, like, you don't take exception to it. You don't, like, I've seen...
Well, that's different. That's a compliment. God, these people are calling me so hot, but you don't see me replying. You don't see me drumming up a shitstorm.
It's like if I Google my name alongside some of the interesting NPCs characters, and I admit some of my performances were shit. And it's like, you don't just rant about it. It's just like a bit of fun at the end of the day. People have their opinions. People joke about shit. It's fine. Just get over it and don't give it attention. If you calling attention to it immediately makes the video blow up. So you're just getting more people to see this funny critique.
Yes, I would have never even heard of this channel or this criticism if not for you.
I think you'd enjoy it. It's just funny. I really love it. It's great. I watch a lot of it, even though I don't watch a lot of movies. I watch more cinema sins to do with movies than that I haven't actually watched because I'm not much of a movie buff.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, there is a line. There is a line that people can cross, and there is a point where it's like, you don't want to blame the victim if someone is just spewing out hateful shit or something. But
it's
in
not
this case, I mean, it's a joke about a movie that is kind of, it's made to be made fun of, I guess. I don't know. It's not the hill you want to die on. It's not Citizen Kane. Yeah.
It's like, this is a channel that has a running joke about scene does not contain a lap dance, and it'll sin it for that.
Yeah.
Like, there's responding to critique of your film, and then there's responding to satire of your film, and it's two completely different things. Like, get over yourself, mate. It's a joke. It'll probably get more people to watch your film. I've watched more films from CinemaSins than I have, like, the actual
maybe
movies.
That's his intent. It's just publicity.
Maybe.
He's playing that little finger 8D Hungry Hippo again. That 7D Monopoly. Speaking of going to the movies, I've got something.
You've got something.
From a local Austin man. My news is always about local men.
Okay.
This guy went on a first date with a gal, to watch Guardians of the Galaxy. And apparently he was not happy with the fact that she was texting during the entire movie. He was so distraught that after the movie was over, after the date was over, he decided to sue her for the amount of the movie. $17.51.
What? Really? I mean, on the one hand, there is no one worse in a movie theater than someone who's messing around on their phone.
True.
On the other hand, this is pettiness to the nth degree. Come on, guys.
It actually costs like over $100 to file the lawsuit.
Yeah. Oh shit, I didn't realize that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was out.
It is out. It's actually out on Blu-ray. We could actually review it.
No way.
Yes way.
When did Guardians of the Galaxy come out?
Did CinemaSins review it? Maybe that's why you didn't.
What? I really liked the first one. How did I not know this? I don't even know when any of the Marvel films are coming out. I want to see Thor Ragnarok.
So, besides that revelation for
it
you,
came
Alice,
out on the 10th of April. What? Are you shitting me? What? Oh no, Alice.
Anyways,
how did you not know this?
I do agree that texting during a movie is probably just like the worst thing you could do, but in her defense, this is probably just like a tactic. I mean, if a date is really bad, isn't that what you start doing? You start texting, you start doing stuff that you're trying to like avoid, like having to talk to your date. Although at the same time, you could just watch the movie. Like, being at a movie is probably I don't know, it's like the worst
date idea.
Yeah, it's especially for a first date.
Yeah. Glad we're on the same wavelength here.
Yeah, like, shouldn't you want to talk to this person? I mean, at a movie, like, the experience is completely, I don't know, what's the word, benign? Like, you're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
You're just watching a movie. You're not interacting. It's just, it's just like, it doesn't make any sense. Third date, maybe, when you're already comfortable with each other.
Yeah, first date is you go out for drinks, you have alcohol as a social lubricant. Second date is something without alcohol, so you go get a coffee or something like that. Third date, that's when you realize, hey, I might actually like this person, and you go to like a cinema, something quieter, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't go to a cinema for a first date. What kind of teenager are you?
I think this guy's 37 years old, by the way. That's the kind of
what?
teenager he is.
Yeah, you need some help with your dating advice, my friend.
Yeah, so we had one Pennsylvania man, we had a California man, we have a Texas man in this case.
We're just making our way all over America, aren't we?
It's not isolated to Florida. We have not had one Florida man as of yet.
Today.
Didn't we have an Australia man? I'm not sure.
No, we were talking about Australia last week because it got compared to Florida in the comment. No, I think, it got compared to Florida in the comments, I think. Maybe I made that comparison. I'm not sure. Whoever agreed with me, thank you for validating
Someone did post
my
a
opinion.
link on the Discord about the giant lobsters in Australia. That kind of freaked me out.
Oh
'cause those are
fuck!
huge.
I hate things with 8 legs. I really hate things with 8 legs. It's the worst. Oh my god! I just scrolled up and saw. Why? Why would you No. Why?
They look like King Mirelurks in Fallout, so there's that.
Oh, they're fucking. How big? Oh no.
Big enough to crush beer bottles, it says. So
Oh no.
nightmare
Why
fuel.
is this happening in the world? I've never been more glad to live in England, where everything might be going to hell, but at least we don't have giant fucking lobsters.
Or sea fleas. That was it.
Oh
Last-
god, no. Why? The worst thing we have is jellyfish.
Speaking of Fallout mods, I'm gonna cover this week.
Nice transition.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first? Because I don't
Sure.
actually have any Fallout mods, because I never have Fallout mods.
The mod I want to cover this week is called Commonwealth Pizza by LoneRaptor.
Ooh. Ooh, what's that fancy ass pizza? Ooh. Like on the.
It adds a bunch of different pizzas to the game. Some Fallout lore friendly, like there's radioactive pizzas and everything. Good for ghouls.
I was thinking on the banner there's one with like a flower in it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that
And mint
is.
leaves. Maybe that's the radioactive pizza.
Have you ever seen a fig eater beetle?
No.
Like the bottom of their carapace is like metallic.
Oh, hello.
Doesn't that look
Oh, that
radioactive?
looks so cool.
Yeah, it's
That
pretty
looks like
crazy.
my chrome nail polish. Yeah. Oh. No, I really
Anyways.
fancy pizza now. I only
Maybe
ever eat
those are
pizza
fig
when I'm
eater beetles
hungover.
on it.
Maybe not. No. Not without not with the fig eater beetles. I only ever eat pizza when I'm hungover. And it's always the best thing ever. A couple of weeks ago, when we were feeling really rough, we ended up ordering pizza from two different places because we wanted the chocolate pizza that they've started doing at Domino's.
Chocolate pizza, that sounds disgusting.
Yeah. And we got all of our dips from Domino's as well, so we had the minimum for delivery. So we got a delivery from Domino's of chocolate pizza and garlic and herb dips.
I think fig eater
And
beetles would probably taste better than chocolate on pizza.
No, it was just basically bread and chocolate.
At least it's a meat
It was
if you have insects.
protein. Need protein to help recover from the hangover.
It probably tastes just like a sausage or something.
And then we had a delivery from Pizza Hut with all the actual pizzas. There were a lot of boxes. We got a lot of food. We ate it all.
What an interesting story, Alice.
I was just wishing that the 2 pizza deliveries would have arrived at the same time, and there would have been a confrontation for our hearts and our pizza.
Like a war.
Yeah.
In reality, it probably would have been a lot less interesting. They would have just said hello to each other.
Yeah.
Just 2 peers respecting each other's work as they try and perfect their craft.
Last year I fainted on a pizza guy. That was quite fun.
Wow.
I was so excited for pizza, and I was so tired that I got up and I stood up too quickly, and I opened the door, and then I collapsed. And I hit my hip. And the pizza guy was completely nonplussed about it. He was like, "You do realise that you still have to pay?" And we were like, "We have paid." But my friend just collapsed.
This is not the start of a romantic comedy. I'm just here to collect my money.
This is not the start of a porno either.
Oh, yeah.
I was just so overwhelmed by my love of cheese and carbs that I collapsed. And the pizza was great, can I just say?
The porno was not.
No. I decided that I probably needed to go to bed after that.
It was subpar at best. Mostly because he couldn't get it up.
Yeah. He needed a bit of help with the scoring.
He needed his fluffer, the Domino's guy.
These jokes aren't going to make any sense unless we put our usual outtakey bit at the beginning. Listen to the end to understand the context of these dirty jokes. Yeah, boy. Alright, okay. So, Pizza of the Commonwealth. Looks great. This is mine. This is the start of a porno. This is ride sharing by Musje, and it's basically lets your
Close
follower
enough.
and it lets your follower ride on your horse. And
Oh.
so I haven't played the Witcher series, but I know that there's a scene where you have sex on a horse, so I feel like this is a prelude to that.
It's sex on a unicorn.
Oh fuck, that's even cooler.
It's a stuffed unicorn.
So but you can have like ridey sex with your companion. You can't. That's not the function of the mod at all, Alice. Yeah, you can basically have a follower on your horse, and it means they don't get lost in the wilderness, and that's great.
As opposed to them magically popping out their own horse,
Yeah.
which is what some of the other mods do.
Or just running behind you.
Yeah.
You can reenact the Theon and Yara scene from season 2. But don't do that if your companion turns out to be your brother or your sister or any kind of relative. Just don't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, ride sharing. Reenact your favourite scene from Game of Thrones. / A Song of Ice and Fire, because it also happens in the books.
I do think it would be cool if you had an Uber option. You could pick up random NPCs.
Just turn it into like GTA
Yeah.
Skyrim.
It's just like you need a ride to Windhelm.
You know how you have like the mini games in GTA where you can play a taxi driver like that.
Exactly like that. And then they could say just stupid shit while they're riding with you.
Oh, so
Make dumb comments.
that Maven Blackbriar, hey? What a cunt.
You met Helga over in Riften. Whew.
What a girl. That was one wild ride, let me tell you. Not as wild as this one's gonna be though. Wink. I mean, maybe you could put that on your to-do list for Elder Scrolls 6.
They do have a porno now, like Fake Taxi Driver. It's kind of like more popular than pizza pornos now. Where like, you know, you're a taxi driver, you pick up a fare, and then you end up fucking. Which is pretty much how all pornos end. You end up fucking. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the definition of a porno, is that there's gonna be some kind of fucking involved.
But is the story believable that leads to the fucking?
I mean, most of the Uber drivers I've met I wouldn't sleep with. Most of the taxi drivers I've met because I look like I'm 12. So even if I get picked up after a night out, I look like I'm 12, so no one will try anything with me. They just want to make sure that I get home safe. I had a lovely discussion with a taxi driver once about pubs and their decline in the UK.
And he's like, what are middle school girls doing at pubs? No wonder they're on such a steep decline.
But yeah, so there we go.
Anyways, are we going to talk about Defenders first?
Yeah, we always have to end on a high point with Game of Thrones.
Well, that's the thing. Game of Thrones is ending soon, which makes me really sad.
Yeah, where's our content gonna be from?
Yeah. It's not just this season, which is ending next week, but just the series overall only has 7 episodes left after this last
Yeah, it
one.
means that we have to watch different telly, and we have to play games and stuff to review to pad out the
Well, beyond us, I mean, it's a generational show. Like, it comes along once a generation, so it's gonna be sad to see it go. But I mean, there's still Westworld, there's still Defenders. There's still
Yeah, I'm
other
going
things.
to be very sad to have my weekly venting taken away from me. I need to find another show to hate watch. But
What
yeah,
about Defenders?
let's go with Defenders first. So Defenders dropped this weekend.
Yeah, it did. It's gonna be a little bit weirder to try and review a show like this because it's with Netflix. They release all their episodes out at once.
Yeah.
But I guess we're gonna try just doing it once a week.
Yeah, I think we should just give our first impressions and then see if we want to carry it on.
Yeah. Well, I only watched the first episode, and there's really
I
not
only
much
watched
to
the
go
first
on.
episode.
Yeah. There was mostly just introductory scenes for everybody. Like you haven't watched all the shows, right?
I have watched Jessica Jones, and that's the only one that I've watched. So it combines Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Daredevil, and Jessica Jones, but we haven't seen them all interact yet.
Yeah.
In the first episode.
I think this first episode is mainly just picking up where the other series ended.
Yeah.
So Luke Cage ended with him going to jail for some really, really old crime or some shit after he saved Harlem. And then they like have him reunite with Rosario Dawson, who was the love interest on that show. And then they have Daredevil with
was she the nurse in
yeah, she
Jessica
was the
Jones?
nurse.
Yeah.
She's also in Iron Fist. She's in all the shows, I think. She's like the one person who ties them all together. Sir Loris is as angsty as ever.
With Lady Nim.
Yeah, with the Sand Snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As someone who hasn't watched most of the series, I did think that it didn't really introduce us to the characters and their conflict all that well.
It's possible that one of the issues with the first episode is a lot of the scenes were extensions of the previous series, so there might be a little bit lack of cohesiveness.
Yeah.
Because you have all these contrasting types of shows, like with Luke Cage, for example, every time he's on screen, you hear like hip-hop soul music come on, and it's not like that for any of the other characters.
Maybe that was just like a quirk of how they filmed and produced Luke Cage.
Yeah, it is.
And I did appreciate that there was like a very different feel to each character's scenes that were focused on. Like Jessica Jones echoed the Jessica Jones series, and I'm assuming that the others echoed the other series.
The Iron Fist did echo his emo past.
And I appreciated the clash of different aesthetics because it shows you that they're all from different franchises. So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of like blends together when they all unite. I'm going to be interested to see how they tackle that problem.
Yeah.
But I appreciated how different they made each character's aesthetic.
I have high hopes for Sigourney Weaver as a villain.
Her costumes. God damn. I love a pretty costume. That fucking coat that she was wearing in the park, like...
Yeah, one thing they've had issues with is with the Hand as a villain, because the Hand is basically just a bunch of ninjas.
They're Daredevil, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, one of the main problems is Daredevil Season 2 is just the depiction of the Hand. So I think in the last season of Iron Fist and in this season, they're really trying to kind of make them seem more human, or at least their motivations more human, because before they were just more or less the Foot Clan from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Just the 1990s cliche.
Oh.
And so with Sigourney Weaver just having more authority than Madame Gao and just being a potentially three-dimensional character in itself is encouraging.
Maybe like as a Ra's al Ghul type character.
Yeah.
Is it Ra's or is it Raz? I think it's Ra's.
I think it's Roz. But you're asking me, the guy who can't pronounce anything?
Yeah, and you're also asking me, the girl who can't pronounce anything.
I'm going with Roz. How cool.
I'm gonna Google it.
One thing I will say, there's another lost opportunity to have a strong Asian male lead that's actually complicated and interesting and does more than just kung fu.
Yeah.
Like if the Hand is from Japan, I wish they had like a Japanese lead.
That would make a lot more sense, yeah.
I mean, Sigourney Weaver's fine too. She's a good actor.
Apparently, like, the role was just written for her. Like, they heard that she wants to get on board with this project, so they were like, hey, well, let's voice her into the Marvel Universe somehow.
So, I mean, sometimes it helps for, like, writers if they have a template of a type of personality they want to put in there. And so, I mean, if it was an unknown actor, maybe they wouldn't be able to write it.
I'm going to be interested to see how she comes along. I'm not sure if I want to continue with the series, because I just feel a bit lost. The fight scene at the beginning with Iron Fist didn't really sell me on it. Like, it was very, very, very choppy. I couldn't really follow anything.
Yeah, I think that's intentional to hide the fact that Sir Loris is not a martial arts master.
They can hide that between, like, by just... There's a lot of clever camera work you can do to disguise the fact that someone's shit, and you can use stunt doubles.
Yeah, I think the whole scene at the beginning was just to kind of show what Elektra is up to, because that was obviously Elektra.
All I know is that Elektra is that person from that really bad film that came out years and years and years ago.
It's Daredevil's love interest.
Oh, okay. I thought he fancied the blonde girl.
He does fancy the blonde girl, but he also fancies Elektra.
Oh,
but he thinks Elektra is dead.
Oh, love triangle, goddamn.
Yeah. And Rosario Dawson was also his love interest before she became Luke Cage's love interest. So the show is just a love octagon at this point. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And speaking of incestuous love octagons, shall we just get on the Game of Thrones?
Yeah. Oh, shall we rate
Oh, wait.
Defenders?
Oh, yeah. Can I also give a shout out to that idiot who gave Jessica Jones the phone call? She wasn't going to take the case until he called and said, "Don't take the case."
Yeah.
Yeah. It is like Batman voice.
Where are the drugs? Don't take the case.
It's funny, she had no interest in investigating this case until you called with your suspicious ass voice. And then she's like,
Well, shit, mate.
well, in that case, I'm going to go over there right now and investigate. That was fucking stupid.
So, on a scale of Game of Thrones characters, because we can do this because it's not Game of Thrones, how would you rate Defenders?
I'm going to give it a season 7 because season 7 is all about like people who haven't met meeting for the first time and sort of assembling a team stuff. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to give it.
I'm going to give it a season 5 Littlefinger.
Oh, okay.
Because it's kind of incomprehensible to me.
Fair
And
enough.
I'm kind of intrigued by it, but at the same time, I don't know if it's going anywhere.
I just can't wait till like they have episodes where other characters get music.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Jessica Jones will get Dead Reckoning.
I got raped by Kilgrave for so long. I am never going into death metal. No, it's not on my career trajectory.
Does death metal ever have just like regular singing?
Well, there was a band that I used to like called Opeth, and like when he sang, he had really nice vocals, but he used to do a lot of death growls and stuff. So,
Per the
I mean,
quota.
it's variable, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise you might get confused with what is it, like alt rock or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
Alt
System
rock
of
or
a
progressive
Down.
rock or something, I don't know. God, I haven't heard from System of a Down in years.
I don't have any modern music references. I'm sorry.
It's okay, neither do I. I keep up with a couple of bands that I like and that's it.
Ed Sheeran. That's all I know.
Oh yeah, everybody loves Ed Sheeran. Woo!
Taylor Swift. That's pretty much all I know at this point.
Breakups, yeah.
Beyond Disney movies, but enough of that. Game of Thrones. This penultimate episode this season. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we start with just Eastwatch?
Yeah.
Anything you want to talk about from there? Just their traveling and their the whole bro stuff that's going on.
Yeah, I feel like Benioff and Weiss are at their best, or feel most comfortable when they're writing bro trips.
Yeah.
You saw it with Bronn and Tyrion. You saw it with Jaime and Brienne, because Brienne's basically a bro. And I feel like they're definitely the most comfortable when they're writing that kind of dialogue between those kind of characters. Like, that's why they had Jaime and Bronn go to Dawn and things like that. Like, that's... or when they had Tyrion and Jorah go saddling off, or when they had Dario and Jorah go saddling off to find Daenerys and things. Like, they definitely feel comfortable in writing bro trippy type dialogue, and I feel like this was just an amalgamation of it.
Yeah, instead of that show that they're trying to put out, which is about like what, a modern day Confederacy or something like that.
Oh God, don't.
They should
That's a whole other kettle of fish.
Yeah, instead of that show, they should just make a show about two guys bro tripping back and forth across the country.
I mean, that's where their strengths lie, so,
Yeah,
you know.
write what you know.
I mean, I did enjoy some of the dialogue. I thought it was just quite nice to... It was kind of fan fiction-y in a way, to see all these different characters figuring out how to interact with each other.
That Tormund Hound interaction was pretty great.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed that. I didn't enjoy that the Hound said that he didn't like gingers, because obviously in the books he's like obsessed with Sansa. And that was
true,
never really conveyed in the show.
But maybe he's just trying to, you know, like play it off. You know how like little kids who don't know how to talk about girls
don't like gingers.
Yeah,
even
or
though
like if
Sansa's
there's a
really
girl they
cute.
like, they call them ugly.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's just like, you know,
I
you don't really know how to
definitely enjoy-
project their feelings.
Like, that was definitely an interaction that I can't see happening in the books, but I enjoyed watching on screen.
Yeah.
Like, it was fan fiction to the nth degree, but it was good fan fiction.
Well, does Tormund exist in the books?
Yeah.
I forget.
Yeah, Tormund's a pretty cool guy.
Okay,
in the
so he's
books.
not like
I love
Bronn.
Tormund.
Bronn, who exists
No.
outside the canon, and that's why he's invincible.
Well, Bronn exists in the books, but he doesn't have nearly the kind of role that he does in the books. Like, he kind of just ships himself off to Stokeworth, gets married, and antagonizes Cersei from...
Really? I thought Bronn was a TV invention.
No?
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Okay, you can just edit that bit out for yourself. It's fine.
Then we also had them attacked by a giant polar bear, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you can see why they haven't had the CGI budget for Ghost, but I miss Ghost so much.
I thought Ghost was going to appear for sure in one of these scenes.
Yeah. Is Ghost just not appearing for the whole season?
I don't know. This was definitely the first strike against the Night King in this episode. And, like, why is he wasting time with humans? He needs to breed more polar bears. And that thing was vicious.
That thing tore apart that poor wildling.
Yeah. Army of the dead bears. How about that, Night King?
Yeah. And they're so much easier to deal with because they don't resist. Well, they don't have as much consciousness as humans do. They can't strategize against you. They can just try to rip you apart and fail.
And they can swim. We'll get to that later. Polar bears, Night King. Just one suggestion.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on Team Night King before this episode, but there's just like a series of events that have...
Maybe your hand to the Night King.
Yeah, it has made me wonder about my allegiance after this episode. But next, let's go to Winterfell, where we have Sansa and Arya. Battle of the Sisters.
I don't think we're meant to be rooting for Arya anymore.
Oh, she's gone full creep.
Oh yeah, she's gone full blown crazy. She's gone cray-cray. Like, there's always been, like, show watchers in general, actually a lot of people in general have preferred Arya over Sansa. And
she's less of a
I feel like this is the
person.
scene that will change people's minds because Arya's gone full blown crazy. She's not listening to any of Sansa's arguments, which are reasonable. She was a prisoner held under duress. She was trying to save her father's life by writing that letter, And she's just like, well, I wouldn't have done that. And they did raise a very good point in their argument where Sansa was like, you wouldn't have been able to survive half the stuff I did. And a lot of the discourse in the fandom regarding the two sisters is that neither would have survived if they were placed in each other's shoes. And that was a very decent point for them to raise.
Sansa's always been more of a moderate. Arya's like Jon Snow taken to the extreme. She's righteous, but militantly righteous. Like, she's basically the alt-left Trump tried to warn us about.
Arya's Lady Stoneheart. I think that Arya's being used as Lady Stoneheart. I think that's the kind of role that she's playing now.
Yeah, the one thing that I will point out, though, is that Sansa is the one who told Brienne to go to King's Landing. So they are hinting sort of that Sansa is the one who is going to take out Arya. Because when Littlefinger suggested that Brienne would come in between any kind of conflict between the two, she's the one who had Brienne shipped off. So that was like a big hint that she's going to try and have Arya killed.
No, see, I think it was an expression of trust. Like, she said that Brienne would come between them. No, I feel like she said, Littlefinger said that Brienne would come between them.
One tried to kill the other.
Arya wanted to, but he suggested going to Brienne to come to her defense if that was the case, and possibly expel Arya from Winterfell, which I think is what Littlefinger was going for. And I feel like her sending Brienne down to King's Landing was both an expression of trust and understanding the importance of goddamn envoys. Take note, John.
You are totally so on Team Sansa that you can't see what's really going on. She had her shipped off.
She is not killing
No, but
Arya.
that's like sort of what the hint is here, that like Littlefinger is trying to get rid of Arya, right? And he's using Sansa as his tool to get rid of Arya. And one of the roadblocks to doing that is Brienne. And he's kind of manipulated Sansa into getting rid of Brienne by having her plot against Arya. I don't know if she's going to kill her. Maybe she wants to imprison her or do something to where she can't bring any harm to her or her ambitions. But it's definitely, her sending Brienne is definitely a red flag as far as what she's up to. She's up to some shady shit.
No, see, I feel like it was an expression of trust. But
No,
the best thing to come out of that was Arya giving Sansa the dagger, and you were saying last week, oh, well, Arya has a dagger, so Arya's going to be the one to kill Littlefinger. Guess who has the dagger now, bitch?
But again, that could also be like Sansa getting the dagger. It's like foreshadowing for her about to do some shady shit. Not to Littlefinger, but to Arya. But of course, in the end, they're going to get along. We all know that there's no way that either sister is going to kill the other. I mean, in the end, we're going to get a happy ending. But the way they're doing the misdirection, they're kind of putting Sansa and Arya against each other. And removing Brienne, which is like a firewall between them, kind of amps shit up, you know?
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree with you
faith
in the end.
My girl.
In the end, they're going to team up and take down Littlefinger. In the end. But before that...
I am surprised that she didn't order, like, Arya's arrest, like, right then and there in the room when she discovered that she was carrying around faces of people.
Yeah.
That she was a faceless... That she was literally an assassin.
Well,
like...
she can't because Arya has the note.
Yeah.
One good thing is we get more adventures between Brienne and Jaime.
Yeah, that'll be nice for them to gaze longingly across each other at the King's Landing. I mean, that'll be nice to see. I wonder how long it'll take them to get down to King's Landing.
Who knows? The other thing we learned is that Arya says she wears their skin and takes their voice. She didn't actually specify whether or not she, wears their dick or not. But
I know, that's like that's the most important thing here. That's the most important issue here.
Yeah. Sansa didn't ask. I'm like, Sansa, you're not asking the right questions.
I mean, yeah, you need to find out if...
I imagine Arya would have a lot harder time explaining herself if Sansa was holding Walder Frey's penis instead of his face. Like, she's like holding it with 2 fingers. They're like, what is this? Explain this, Arya.
I mean, asking the important questions here at Law Friendly. These demand to be answered. Not like it's a fantasy TV show. Or anything.
Yeah. Alright, so Dragonstone. We had that interaction with Dany and Tyrion.
Yeah.
Where she says she can't have kids because of that prophecy from...
Yeah. Nice to get a
way
reminder
back.
of that.
She can have kids, though. There's a theory, right, that when the prophecy was talking about how the sun rises in the west and sets in the east refers to, like, one of the Martells.
Yeah, but they've kind of not gone with that plot line in the show, so... Like, the sun rising thing was, Quentin Martell, and Quentin Martell obviously doesn't exist. In the TV show.
He was absorbed by Bronn, we'll say that. Yeah.
The mountain shakes, I think that's generally regarded as being interpreted as, you can tell that I've had a glass of wine. That's generally regarded as being the mountain falling to Oberyn. And then when the sea runs dry, I think that's something to do with the Dothraki Sea. But obviously none of this is really touched on, so I don't know if if it's going to have much importance to the show.
Possibly
which is
not.
A shame.
But she is making an effort to announce the fact that she can't have kids.
Yeah.
It
was referenced twice.
Yeah, so either she's going to be right or they're going to have a twist. And the more logical conclusion is they're going to have a twist, right?
I do like that they're calling attention to the fact that there is going to be an issue of succession.
Yeah.
Like, even if she does take the throne. Like, what is there going to be left for whoever takes the throne after her? It's just going to leave to another war.
Right. It is a bit strange to discuss it now, though. She's like, what, 20 years old? 20-something?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got time, Tyrion. I know you want to yell out these plot points, but we have like 60 years to decide.
I mean, more like 50.
Yeah. Well, it depends on like lifespans.
Maybe 40.
It's not like people in the old days weren't capable of living a long time. They usually just got eaten by a tiger or some shit, you know? That's why life expectancy is so low.
In medieval England, there were lots of people getting eaten by tigers. In medieval Europe.
Or disease, or, you know.
Or just childbirth, deaths, and things.
Lobsters.
Yeah. I think generally the stats were the average life expectancy stats are pulled down by the fact there's just so many infant deaths.
Yeah.
Which isn't a fun fact.
No. It's not fun at all.
Yeah. So let's talk about Gendry, and then we can go back to Dragonstone because the plot lines are actually interlinked and it's nice. So Gendry pulls off an amazing cross-country performance.
Yes. Waddling the whole way.
His run was so good. No, as someone who has run cross-country and trained for cross-country, being strong does not train you for cross-country. Alright, so there was a story in, I think, ancient Rome where a guy ran 26.5 miles to one another city of an impending invasion, and he collapsed on his death because, like, he just died from running so much.
Right, and it wasn't in the snow.
Gendry... No, and Gendry's done, like, 5 times that distance. And... to say that he's only really been trained for strength, for swinging that big warhammer around and forging shit, his cross-country performance was absolutely stellar. Like, give Gendry the gold, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I feel like Gendry would be someone who would be more top-heavy. Like, I think he's the type of guy who skips leg day.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
He's just like an upside-down triangle.
Yeah. Wouldn't Tormund be better equipped for running in, especially not just the weather, but just be more used to the terrain and know where to go as far as like where East March is, East Watch is relevant to where they were.
Yeah, but they wanted Tormund to be there for the fight scene because he's pretty brutal, and they wanted to toy with his life.
Also, the fact that he's the fastest of that group, like really, like if you watch him run with that form does not scream fast.
No.
I feel like it's just Jon's decision again. Like, we had that scene in Dragonstone where Dany was talking about how dumb and little Jon is. I think this is just more evidence.
Just Jon is pretty... Jon is pretty fucking dumb.
The other dumb decision, he made a couple, but of course he's not alone. I mean, the Night King, oh god, don't get me started, but... They went to that little island, and instead of huddling all together and hugging... I mean, Tormund even talked about, like, how fucking is the best way to stay warm.
Yeah.
So they should have had a scene with them all, like, hugging to, you know, using body warmth, which makes the most sense.
Yeah, but that would just be so unmanly, Chris. God.
They're all standing, like, 5 feet apart from each other, which is the worst way to stay warm.
It's so stupid. Huddle like penguins, you dumbasses.
They also don't break up the ice around the island, which is the first thing I would have thought of.
Yeah. I just keep on repeating that.
Yeah. They also wasted alcohol. Like, it was the weirdest scene. Like, Jon throws, like, the alcohol onto Thoris's body. And then, like, Beric, he, like, lights up the fire anyway. I'm like, why do you need the alcohol if you could just, like, pull out fire on cue?
I mean, human bodies burn at a very, very, very high temperature. So I guess the alcohol was just kind of to expedite that.
But there's no excuse for not spooning. I feel like Thoris would be alive today if they just spooned all night.
Yeah. I mean, they might have got the furs a little bloody, but at the end of the day, you're also alive, right?
A little, you know, like, little just manly hugging and spooning would have, you know, saved one extra person. But yeah. We did get a great scene with the Hound throwing the rock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that one little tentative...
Step.
Tentative white. Yeah. Like, hello. Okay, guys, let's go.
And Jon's, like, master plan that, like, send a raven to Dragonstone, which somehow worked, but
yeah, it's, like I said last week, I've given up giving any consideration to time.
Props to that raven, though. That raven is the real hero.
That was, like, light speed raven. That was impressive.
And then we have Dany saving the day, which was a great scene.
And we saw Dany's conversion to the cause, absolutely. She finally saw the destruction that was going to rain down on Westeros. And she was like, well, shit.
Yeah, next episode she's going to be just like Jon. It's like, Army of the Dead! That's Cersei, and Cersei's going to roll her eyes. Going, yeah, I'm going to stab you in the back.
Come on, guys. You crazy Targaryens. But we lost the dragon.
We did.
That was a big thing. I couldn't tell which one it was because the TV series has given no consideration as to coloring the dragons different colors.
No. But it should have been Drogon. This is strike 2 for the Night King. He's an Olympic javelin thrower, and he has a sitting duck right in front of him with all the humans on its back. All the heroes.
Yeah.
He could kill them all in one fell swoop, and he decides to show off and throw his spear at a moving target in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was not the most brilliant tactical move from the Night King. I was very disappointed how dumb he is. I think he's dumber than Jon Snow.
Yeah. And that takes some doing.
They had the camera showing the dragon with all the heroes on it. All he had to do was just throw the spear at Drogon.
But he was taking his sweet fucking time, wasn't he? He was just like, well, it stood right there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ramp up the tension. And then it sets off and he's like, well, shit, let's just let it fly and see where it goes. And it missed, because of course it did, you dumbass.
Oh, he was so stupid. He wasted his first shot on the moving target in the sky. I mean, it was I have no words.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was thinking, because he wasn't.
R.I.P. Rhaegal / Viserion. You will be missed. Whichever one you are.
And then Jon, stupidly, trying to outdo the Night King, he's like, no, hold my beer, Daenerys. You think the Night King is stupid? Watch me run forward for no reason at all and fall into a lake of ice. Oh.
Because why the fuck not?
Because he really wanted to kill like 3 more whites for no reason, when he could have just hopped on the dragon's back and they could have flown away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he kills...
To safety.
Yeah, he kills 3 more whites. He outdoes the Night King. But then the Night King says, you think that's stupid? Hold my beer again. And he, instead of turning Jon Snow into a dead white, he just leaves. I don't know where he goes. He goes off camera.
Yeah. He just goes walking. He's like, oh, I'm bored of this now. Like, oh, man, conquering all these humans. It's just fucking boring, man. They all die so easily.
So he just goes off. But then he comes back. He has sense enough to turn the dragon into a white.
Yeah.
But he didn't have sense enough to pull Jon Snow out of the lake, which would have allowed him to confirm his status as a zombie or confirm the fact that he died. But he didn't do that. He went off, had a break, took a piss break, then came back, and by then Jon had already escaped.
Yeah. Like, come on, man. You're meant to be taking over the world here. What are you doing?
Yeah, so that was strike 3 for me. I am off Team Night King, officially.
You should be on Team Ghost, because Team Ghost is at least pretty fucking safe, because he never appears on screen.
Team Nymeria or something, God. Team Direwolf in general. Oh.
Yeah.
The Night King with 3 stupid, idiotic moves when he could have won the war right there.
In one episode. In one episode. But yeah. So Jon gets saved by Benjen Coldhands.
Yes.
He gets ripped to pieces, and he miraculously arrives at Eastwatch alive. He ends up on a boat alive.
Props to the horse.
Yeah, props to the horse. Like, goddamn.
The animals in this show are smarter than the people.
Yeah. Team horse. But so he gets loaded onto the boat and warmed up, and he and Daenerys have a really touching conversation. About their lack of chemistry.
Yeah. They played handsies. They rubbed each other's hands. And she saw the scar in his heart.
Yeah. Like, it was, even with all those scars, like, hot damn. Yeah. I mean, I would.
Is it creepier to be in love with a dead man or be in love with your nephew?
Both.
In this case, he's both, so.
Necrophilic incest.
Can dead men have children?
I don't know. I mean, Daenerys can't, so I don't know. Does he work all right down there? Do the sperm die when he dies?
Yeah, it might explain the fact that he doesn't actually look at her longingly because he's dead inside.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that just Kit Harington's acting? But
But yeah, it might be one of those situations where they blame the queen for being barren when it's really the dude who can't actually, impregnate. What is the show that does that? There's like a recent show that does that.
The Handmaid's Tale.
Ah, there you go.
We've come full circle. But I bet they're gonna have sex next episode.
It's highly possible.
I'm putting my money on them having sex next episode.
Necrophilia. Next episode.
Necrophilic incestual sex. It's gonna be something, guys.
Yeah, it is. As long as we get to see butts from both sides. Equal opportunity
Yeah,
butts.
equal opportunity butts. Hashtag.
She's like, it's okay you were stabbed in the heart. As long as that butt is perfect and flawless, I'm okay with it.
I want a shot of his butt like we got a shot of Dario's butt.
It's very
All will
important.
be forgiven if we get equal opportunity butts. Also, side note, I love Daenerys' going north outfit. It was fucking cool.
Didn't it have like lace or in the back or something? Like you could see skin in the back. I thought that was
No, you couldn't see. No, that was like a dragon scaly type material, I think.
Okay.
But it was nice. It was nice seeing a colour other than black. Because that's all anyone ever wears in this show anymore.
She was styling. She was ready for that northern visit.
Yeah. She was like, I know I'm going north. I'm going to have one of my tailors make this. It's going to be fine.
One of her tailors from IKEA. Maybe throw in a cupboard that's missing a few parts. But yeah, that whole scene. I think that's where the TV show trumps the books. Because the visuals that you can get from the TV show are just, especially with battles.
I love costumes. God damn.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with the written word as far as action, battle, and costume are concerned. Yeah. Especially for people like me with little imagination.
Right, so it's time for that question again.
Yes.
On a scale of Skyrim characters, how would you rate this episode?
I don't know if this is accurate, but I think I'm going to give him an on Dolamar, that Thalmor in the Mages Guild quest.
Yeah.
I think he had just a lot of like opportunities to kill the player. From what I recall, forgive me if this is wrong, and kind of like bumbled the whole thing. So yeah, I'm gonna go with him.
Fair. I'm going to give it a Farkas because he's thick as two short planks.
True.
Like the Night King is, and oh bless him, he tries. He fucking tries, doesn't he? He's basically Jon Snow, isn't he? Now that I think about it,
they deserve each other.
Yeah.
They so deserve each other.
So, yeah. Here we go.
Yeah. But I enjoyed the episode.
One more episode.
It was fun. It was great. I'm going to miss Game of Thrones terribly. But
I'm going to miss being able to vent my frustrations.
But some of the characters are fucking dumb as ice.
Oh, yeah. Dumb as pig shit. Thick as pig shit, I believe, is the term that my mother would use.
I'm going to have to find a new team to root for. I'm on Team Horse.
Team Direwolf.
Team Raven.
Team Animals in general.
Yeah. But we'll see. Maybe next episode the Night King will redeem himself. I'm not keeping my fingers crossed.
Or maybe next episode the horse will just walk into the wall repeatedly. Its pathing will be off.
Yeah. Just like Littlefinger, maybe he'll discover that sandbox package.
Yeah. It'll be a wild ride.
All right.
Artificial intelligence, guys.
That is it for this episode of Lore Friendly. See you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, it remembered my settings this time. Usually you start coming into the speakers and all hell breaks loose. But
So for once it's actually remembered. Maybe it resets itself on a weekly basis.
Yeah, maybe. It has a limited memory. It gets drunk on the weekends.
It's a goldfish.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck, I should be getting drunk right now. Mm-hmm. And instead it's like, no, bitch, you're recording. I'm basically a computer.
What does a computer software get drunk off? Electricity, I'm assuming.
That's pretty tame. That's just something that they need to survive. Malware. Malware's drugs. Don't do drugs.
Yeah, that's true. It kind of messes up with their system.
Yeah.
Makes them do things they don't want to do.
Yeah, I had a bit of issue getting into my wine today. Because I bought one with a cork. I'm not used to buying wine with corks. I look...
Isn't that how they're supposed to come?
No, like you get... I get screw top ones. So you just screw the top off, pour it off, put it in the fridge, it's fine.
I'm not used to breathing air that's gas. It's like saying that. I'm used to drinking it out of a cup.
I was just like sat in the kitchen, like, shit, how do I do this? I'm not used, like, I associate corks with fancy wine or wine that pretends to be fancy. And so I was just sat there, like, looking around for, I knew that I needed a corkscrew, so I got a corkscrew, but it was like a multi-tool one, and I didn't know how to get it up. It's a recurring problem for me. But eventually I figured it out.
It's something, the walls of your bedroom are very familiar with that.
Oh yeah.
Scenario.
It's just like, God damn it.
Not again.
I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I'm not used to screwing.
Of course, that's not your problem, though. It's the guy's problem. It's his fault.
It's not my fault that I can't get it up for him. No, so, yeah, I got my wine. I've got a nice little spritzer. It's all very fancy. I'm drinking out of a wine glass instead of a mug, which is even better.
Sets the mood.
Sets the mood for an hour of shit talking. Yeah!
I did not think of one in advance, so you can go ahead.
I also did not think of one in advance.
Okay, so that's another moment of silence.
Yeah. What's a really stupid character in Skyrim? Like, which character has the most stupid ideas? Shit. I'm gonna have to Google this. Stupid characters in Skyrim.